Alright guys, today I'm going to tell you how I keep a healthy relationship and I keep a positive mindset in life and how I always try to just see the best in things. And if that's something that interests you, just stay to the end of the video. It'll be a quick one like always. But with that being said, let's jump into it. Okay, first thing I gotta say is if you are not 18 and responsible, do not watch this video. Please, please, please. I cannot stress this enough. This is not meant for everybody. But in the first part, we're going to talk about the biggest character trait that you need for a healthy relationship, and it's being able to communicate and listen. Listening is so important, probably more important than communicating, because your partner is a different person. They feel different things and have different perspectives on life. And as their partner, you're supposed to respect that and learn from that and accept it. And you can only hope that is reciprocated. I think a lot of people get into relationships for like a status symbol instead of how you feel. And I don't think this could fix relationships that aren't meant to be. I think it could postpone the downfall of it. You really have to look for feeling. And that's why I pride myself in being in harmony. And that's why I pride myself when I say that I feel like I'm constantly in harmony, because I run off feeling. And I truly feel like I found the girl I want to be with for the rest of my life, because the feeling is there. Obviously, she's beautiful and amazing, but it makes me feel in harmony. But let's be realistic. It's not always the greatest every single minute and every single second of your lifetime. There's ups and downs and all that, right? Because we're humans. We feel all these emotions. But again, that's why you need to be able to listen and you need to be able to communicate. All right, here is where the secret sauce comes in. And this is where if you're not responsible and not over 18, you should turn off the video. First, I have to say a lot of drugs are bad. Do not touch opioids. Do not touch these street drugs. Don't take random drugs for random people. And honestly, if you're not even educated on certain things and you want to try to experiment, do not take them. Get educated first, understand what they're going to do to your body, and then take them. A lot of you guys probably smoke weed and you guys have no idea what it does to your insides, what chemicals in your brain it releases and all that. Get educated on what it is so you can use it, because if not, the drug is going to use you. Now here is my magical trick. Emphasize magical. I call it drug therapy. And you may ask, what is that? Well, it's either Molly or mushrooms. You take them with your partner, just you two. You guys do it together. And once you're over the peak and you're able to relax, start having conversation. And I say that because a lot of people are so closed off and they never really open up on how they really feel until they're drunk, high, tripping, whatever it is, right? Until they let that doubt go in their head. And again, I'm not saying do drugs every day. You have to be very responsible with these. Very responsible. Shrooms is a different story because it's psychedelic and doesn't have too much effect on your body. You can't really overdose. You could just trip out crazily and probably scare yourself and never doing drugs again if you do it wrong. But this is why you need to get educated. And Molly is something you have to be very careful with because it's chemicals. But all that does is release dopamine in your brain and serotonin. And it gives you no doubt. See, when average humans are sober, in my opinion, we are held back by our doubt in our head. You don't say that because you think it's going to get rejected by that person. You don't say that because you think it's going to cause a fight. You don't say that because, oh, that's not me. What is you? Do you know who you are? So when you go into these experiences, you're supposed to just peel back layers like onions, and you're supposed to ask questions like, what do you want to do? How do you feel? Do you feel good in this relationship? What's missing? What do you want to see? What do you want to do? How am I doing? How are you doing? How do you feel? You're supposed to push those barriers. See, people do these drugs and have fun, and that's fine. But I don't believe that's the use for these drugs. I think we have been so tied to short-term gratification that we forget about delayed gratification, the long-term results. And if you really want something to work with somebody, you make it work. But people are so scared of that conflict of butting heads. And that's why these come in handy, because when you take this stuff, you can relax, you can open your mind, you can expand on who you are and who you guys are together and ask questions that are really kind of off the table when you're sober. And sometimes you just need to have that out-of-body experience and look at yourself and be like, am I who I say I am? Am I doing what's best for me and us in this world? Am I actually happy with what I'm doing? See, these drugs do that, but a lot of people just get stuck in I'm going to feel good, I'm going to party, and I'm going to drink, and I'm going to do that. That's when it's bad for you. Now, I'm not telling you drugs are good for you. I'm just saying the way you use them could benefit you and your partner in the future and your relationship with everybody else around you, because you become more conscious. There's a reason that people do it in Silicon Valley, trip on shrooms and expand their mind, and then all of a sudden you're playing with the app that they discovered. Are you playing with the technology that they made? Because they are eliminating the doubt in their head. They are peeling back to onion, every layer. And again, I don't want you to think that I'm just telling you to do drugs. I really, really think there's a bad problem in America with drug use, opioids, and all that. This is not about opioids. Those are horrible for you. They are controlled substances, and you have to get educated on what it is. But I'm just saying, there's power in psychedelic therapy. I promise you, in 15, 20 years, it's going to be normalized, just like weed. Weed was such a bad person 20 years ago, and now everybody's like, oh, weed's fine. In 20 years, people are going to be like, oh, shrooms is fine. Oh, Molly's fine. As long as you're with a therapist, as long as you're sitting down using them to get out of depression. Remember that. But anyways, guys, that's just my opinion. That's my secret sauce in my relationship, and I love my relationship. I love everybody around me. I love the life I'm building. I really, really, really just appreciate everything that I've put into this world, and I do have to thank that stuff because it has made me more conscious in my actions. But anyways, guys, you guys let me know what you guys think. Have you ever tried this? Do you ever think you would try this? If not, no worries. I'm not telling you to try it. I'm just telling you my experience. I'm not telling you to do any of this. It's my experience. But with that being said, guys, my name is Derek. We'll flip and drip, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.